The subscriber number is currently recording a podcast. Please try again later.
Hey guys! Hey guys, and welcome back to 20 something. I'm here with my boyfriend today. What a guest star.
Back due to popular demand, I
Yes.
hope.
Basically, it was me.
Yes, every week, begging me for the views
Yes.
to just climb again.
Yes, we need
since
to go viral again,
since
so
that first trailer.
I need to bring in the man of the minute. But yeah, I am currently house sitting. So we are at the house. I'm house sitting, and if you're watching the video version, we have one of the kids I'm watching. Her name is Lily. She's a I think she's old. She's an old dog, but she's the sweetest thing, and she loves to bark, and she loves to stick out her tongue.
And if you're listening to the audio, this is her breathing. There we go.
Hopefully they heard that. Anyway, so we're kind of in a very lazy mood today. Well, in a very weekend mood.
Yeah, feels like a Sunday.
It does.
afternoon.
On a Saturday. It's a Saturday today. It's 4:30 p.m. He's going to America for a month, so we went to go shop and we just got ready for his trip. We weren't that productive. Not as
No.
productive as we thought we would be today, but the
And
day's
that's
not
okay.
over yet. Yeah, we have tomorrow. The day's not over yet. Why are you doing that? The dog's like growling. But yeah, we still have a few days and then I'm gonna be alone for a month. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. But I'll do something. I'll get something to do.
Some paint by numbers.
Yeah, I'll paint a little bit. I was like very motivated to learn sign language. Because we were sitting next to these people who were signing to each other, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And now I'm gonna learn how to sign because I want to be cool as well. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about the pressure of being successful, the pressure we put on ourselves, and the pressure we have from other people to have a very Don't growl. Very successful life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a very a relevant topic for both of us because we both have a big desire to do a lot with our lives.
I also think it's not the same for everybody. Success for me and success for someone else might look different.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
so
not
true.
necessarily an easy thing to answer because it's dog. It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
For some people, success might be how much money you have in the bank.
Yeah.
Or if you're following your dreams. And then for me, the start of success is, am I doing what God has called me to do right now?
Yeah. Sure, that's good.
And so it's different for everyone.
Yeah, and I feel like I did do an episode on social media, but the way that the media we have access to every day has such a big influence on the people we become. Dang, she's growling.
She's saying amen. She's agreeing. It's a Pentecostal dog.
There you go. It has such a big influence on the people we become because self-comparison is such a big deal, and we're constantly aware of what other people are doing with their lives, and we feel like, oh, that's ideal, and then we kind of wish to have that life. And that's something I struggle with because I feel like sometimes I want a certain thing, but then I think back and I'm like, oh, I just saw a lot of that thing on my phone, or my feed was full of that one thing. For example, you get the fitness influencers. You're like, oh, I just want to be fit. I want to be a fitness influencer. Or you see those moms on TikTok that are baking, and it's
I've never seen that.
all these, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
But or you see those super successful rich Sarah's how to get rich people, and they're business driven, and you're constantly seeing what other people are doing and calling success. And then I feel like it's easy to be jealous in a way, or envy Is that the right word?
Mm.
Envy what they have.
Yeah.
And I feel like that can make you very confused on what you're supposed to do with your life, because you're constantly seeing other people's version of success.
Yeah.
And then it feels like your version is not as successful
Some-
as you thought it would be, you know?
Yeah. Something that I do that I feel links with that is I compare myself to people who are in their 30s and 40s. They've had so much life experience, they've had so much time, and then I get frustrated with myself when I look at their lives and
Yeah.
what they've accomplished, and I forget that I'm 21.
That is so true. Yeah, because I do the same thing. And it's something I really need to work on. And it's something I don't think we've even talked about before. Is I like compare myself to everyone the whole time. I'm constantly thinking, what are they doing with their lives? And what am I doing with my life? Are they ahead of me? Are they behind me? And that causes a lot of stress for me, because I'm always aware of what I'm doing or like where I am going. But it's not coming from a place of it's for me, but it's coming out of a place of I need to be ahead or I need to keep up, you know, rather than
Yeah.
it being my own journey or path of becoming the person I want to be.
And it's not necessarily completely a bad thing, because you need to be driven. You need to want to be the best version of yourself you could possibly be.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But it can become something, I'm looking for the word.
Let's see. Toxic.
Toxic.
That's a good
Yeah,
word.
that
Or
works.
confusing.
Yeah, it can become something that you obsess over so much that it ends up stealing from you.
Yeah.
But when I look at my life and when I think about success, part of it is getting to everything that I'm passionate about.
Yes.
For instance, I said I wanted to write a book one day. If I have to die and I've not published a book, I would feel like I was not successful.
Yeah.
And so I had this list of things, and I took it to God. I said, "This is vast. This is
It's a long list. It's
right." And it's like I mean, I had everything from actor to writer.
You've starred in my movies.
I have.
So that's a check.
Check. Done. Dusted. And hopefully I'm gonna star in them again.
We'll see. I got very good grades for the last one I did, so
You're welcome.
I got very good grades. So maybe you can have a call back or something like that in the future.
So I had directing, I had ministry, I had music, of course. Bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of in the creative direction.
Right.
And now I'm in full-time ministry. The cool thing is that ministry has all of those different aspects in it. So I get to do music.
Yeah.
I get to write. I get to work with people. I even had therapy on that list. I wanted to work with people.
Yeah, that's so you.
What else? I get to... Yeah, I'm going to get to write. Obviously, I have the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
But it's like... I was always afraid that I would have to pick one of them. But now I'm in a place where God is using all of the things that I'm passionate about in one place.
So cool. Yeah, that's exciting and lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah, I feel like I was so scared thinking back like a few years ago, what am I going to do with my life? Because there's so much I want to do. Like when people would ask me, I would say, I know what I don't want to do. I don't necessarily know what I want to do because there's so much I want to do. But like, I feel like our generation is also much different than our parents and the people before that. Like it was more normal for people to pick a career and do that for the rest of their lives. Now we live in a time where people do so many different things and they are in a certain place in their life for a little bit and then they go somewhere else. It's much more common for people to do so many different things throughout their life than it was a few years ago. And I think I had I was kind of stressed because I was like, I I need to pick something or do something that I'm going to feel like I'm going to be successful in for the rest of my life, or I'm going to be happy in for the rest of my life. And that scared me so much.
No, like you have one chance.
Yeah, you got one chance. If you mess it up, sorry, you're going to be stuck with it for the rest of your life. But we live in a time where that's much more common for people to like do so many different things. Even like people studying a degree and not even like they finish their degree and they never go into that direction again. Like you hear that so much of people like studying something and then going to do something completely different.
Right.
Or they have their degree and they decide, well, I want to do something else, and they study something completely different after that. Like I feel like success or purpose is not necessarily one thing. And like you said, it is where God wants you to be at that moment in time. It's not necessarily like, oh, I need to pick something when I'm 18 and that is the whole root of my life.
Yeah. I relate so much to what you said about having too much to choose from.
That's so
Lots
you.
of people say, I don't know what I want to do with my life. But I don't know what that's like. I have too many options to choose from. But also, like you said, sometimes we feel like we have to plan very far ahead.
Yeah.
But then you read the scripture that says...
Preach.
I'm a youth pastor, it's coming out. Brace yourself. We're going to be here for a while. That says, take every day one day at a time. Every day has its own challenges. Don't become so consumed and so worry about tomorrow. God is in there, in the tomorrow. And that feels counterintuitive. Obviously, I think it's a good idea to plan and to dream. I think that's also biblical, to dream about your life and to dream about your future. But to be so consumed with worry and stress that's what Jesus is trying to prevent when he tells his disciples,
Yeah.
I've got you.
Yeah.
Just
You
follow
can
me
chill.
step by step.
Yeah.
Just follow me today.
Yeah.
Where's the apostolic dog?
We need
Amen.
I don't think she's in the frame right now, but Lily's sitting on the couch.
She has her hands raised.
Her little hand is raised. Her little tongue is out. She's preaching. She's look at her. Oh, she's so cute. But yeah, I totally agree with what you say. We can have that kind of reassurance that, like, no matter what's going on or where you are in your life, you can just have peace.
Yeah. Let me put it this way: like, you could have all the money in the world and be unsuccessful.
That's wow.
Because I mean, like the story that our old youth pastor used to tell us is he used to take Avicii as a example.
Avicii. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy had everything, right? He had the money, he had the girls, he had the cars, he had the houses. From
And
an
the
outside,
fame.
right? From an outside perspective, that looks like
Yeah.
what the world says is success. And then he committed suicide. So there was something wrong with that picture. And there was something unsuccessful inside of him, inside of his spirit, inside of his soul. And then you see people with much less that are so fulfilled, that are living every day in purpose. I told
is
you
so
about,
true.
you guys don't know her, but I told you about Jonathan's grandma.
Yeah.
Right, it's this old lady, and she used to give me some math tutoring, and every day she wakes up at 4, she reads her Bible, she prays, she watches the Christian channel, just gets fired up on all these sermons, and then she takes her dog for a walk, and as she walks, she prays for people along the side of the road. I just think that is so practicing what she preaches, and I think that she is being successful in doing that.
Yeah, it's such a basic, like, day-to-day. She probably does that every day. It's not something very glamorous, but there's purpose in it.
Right.
And I
And
feel
she's
like,
being obedient.
yes, that's so good. We are so, like, we feel like success is linked, like you said, to money and to status and to living comfortably, or like having all of these like worldly, like things that make your life easier in a way. We link success to having an easygoing, like comfortable life. And like times and times we see that is actually not the truth. We see so many people that have the world in their hands and they're so depressed, or they are so unfulfilled, or they're so anxious. There's so much. And then you look at these people's lives and you're like, well, you have all of these things, but that's not what it's about. It's having purpose. Having purpose is the number one thing I feel that is linked to being successful. Because that's that thing inside of you that makes you feel like what I'm doing with my life has meaning, you know? Much more meaning than money, much more meaning than status or fame or all of these things. Having something or doing something that makes you feel like this is, it just clicks, it just resonates with who you are. And there's such a calling on that. It's like so what's the word, so much more satisfying and so much more peaceful than all the money in the world.
Right.
I like just looking at so many movie stars that fall into drug addiction, that like if you think of drugs, you think of like people living on the streets. You know, it's not linked to poor people or like people that don't have a job or that are unfulfilled or don't have people around them. It's people that can be in this high-end places and have these like amazing careers and these mansions and these millions. Oh, that's a cool mansions and millions.
The title.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mansions and Millions.
Mansions and millions. And they still fall into these things because like there's no purpose or there's no identity in what they're doing. And it's kind of I feel like a wake-up call and like just a reality check for people to be like, what you're chasing. And you hear it so much. I feel like you hear it, oh, well, money's not going to bring you joy. It sounds so old, but I'm like, oh, yeah, but I'm very happy when I can buy new shoes. But at the end of the day, it's like the core of the core. If that's not right, if your purpose and your relationship and your, like the core to the core is not right, everything else is not going to fulfill you. It's not. It's going to be mindless. Money is not going to mean anything. Fame is not going to mean anything. The mansions and the millions aren't going to mean anything, you know?
And what we're not saying that money is bad or even that fame is bad necessarily. Can be. But we're saying that's not success. That's what we're saying. We're not saying it's bad to have money. It's great. We all want money. We all want to do stuff.
Yes.
We want to record an album and have a studio. Because that's part of our calling. We're going to need money to build that studio, right? And to get our camera gear and all of the things that we're dreaming about cost money. But it's just a tool at the end of the day. It's not we're not making music because we want the money. We need the money to make the music to get the fulfillment and to
feel the purpose.
Right. So just to get that clear. Just another thought is, Jesus was pretty successful, right? Jesus was successful in what he came to do. He came to earth and he was successful. That success was not comfortable. It was sacrificial. He literally, before he goes to the cross, he says, if at all possible, will you take this cup from me? Will you? This is a lot to bear. He was so anxious and stressed that he was sweating blood. And he says, but ultimately your will be done.
Wow.
And so everything he does is not what the world looks at and sees success. He dies in our place. He forgives his killers. And yet that is success because he was obedient to what his Father was telling him to do.
Wow.
Even the disciples.
Wow.
They all died. But they thought, they knew that following Jesus was worth dying.
Wow.
And so they were successful.
Mm.
And when I think about my life and what I want to be remembered by, at one point, people said when they looked at the disciples, they could see that they had been with Jesus. I want people, when they look at us, to say that they can see that we have been with Jesus.
Wow.
And then I'll feel successful.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really pretty. Oh, this was good.
It's good.
It was good. Are you gonna cry?
No, it was close, but I saved it.
Oh, Lily might cry.
Lily's crying right now.
Yeah. With
It's
her little
okay.
tongue out. She's a little spoiled. She eats like chicken and mince and milk and all of these human food.
She's pretty successful, right?
Oh, she lives
As
a
far
very
as the
comfortable
dog life goes, this is a successful dog.
She gets her little walks in. She gets her little belly rubs. She eats her 3-course meals.
She should have done the talking.
Yeah, she could have told us a thing or two about
we
being.
can learn.
And she was a stray, and now she's living a very luxurious life.
You're in an estate.
Yeah.
Man,
Good job, Lily.
well done.
She made it. But yeah,
One day I want to be as successful as Lily.
there you go. Lily, you're a successful dog. I can't even speak. But anyway, thank you so much for listening and watching this episode. Next week I'll be with another friend somewhere in the world talking about stuff.
Stuff. A whole lot of stuff.
Yes, sir. But for today, we're probably gonna go take a nap or do something productive. I'm gonna cough.
We're going to go be successful.
Yeah, we're gonna go be successful. You should too. We'll see you next week. Bye.